If you are looking for an absolute masterclass in frozen locked-room claustrophobia, unreliable dual narrative suspense, and a pulse-pounding, deeply psychological sisterhood versus survival institutional trap, you need to clear your calendar for Cate Quinn. We are stepping directly into the chilling, calculation-heavy shadow universe of high-end Pacific Northwest rehab facilities with The Clinic, a spectacular, high-gear, and beautifully executed standalone psychological thriller that will leave you questioning every character's hidden trauma and true intentions. Let's lay out the strategic narrative grid. If you are a fan of stories where a fiercely determined protagonist goes undercover in an isolated luxury compound to avenge a sibling's mysterious death, where every staff member and wealthy patient harbors a devastating secret, and where a blinding winter blizzard cuts off all communications to turn the setting into an inescapable hunting ground, this book is engineered to lock you in. Quinn completely dominates the gothic rehab noir dynamic, capturing the heart-racing tension and psychological chess matches popularized by Lucy Foley, Ruth Ware, and Sarah Pierce, while treating addiction recovery, forensic military training, and deep-seated childhood guilt with exquisite care. The narrative tracking grid zeroes in on Meg Fitzgerald, a tough-as-nails, highly resourceful investigator for the casino industry who uses her sharp analytical mind to spot cheaters. Meg's personal defensive perimeters are completely shattered when her sister, Haley, a wildly successful but troubled Hollywood actress, is found dead at Sanctuarium. Tucked away in the brutal, remote wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, Sanctuarium is an ultra-exclusive, insanely expensive rehabilitation clinic catering to the rich and famous. The official administrative routine lists Haley's death as a tragic, self-inflicted overdose, but Meg's investigative instincts instantly detect a cold, calculated anomaly. The spark ignites when Meg realizes the timeline of Haley's final days doesn't match her sister's true behavioral patterns. Convinced that someone inside the facility targeted Haley, Meg deliberately stages a spectacular emotional spiral to get herself admitted to Sanctuarium as a patient. Once inside the clinical perimeter, she drops her vulnerable cover and begins deploying her tactical observation tradecraft to dissect the staff and the elite clientele. The tactical parameters take an incredibly hostile turn when a massive, historic winter storm slams into the mountain range. The facility is completely cut off from civilization, the power grids fail, the roads become impossible, and the phone lines go dead. Locked inside the freezing compound with a killer, Meg must navigate a parallel narrative timeline provided by Kara, Sanctuarium's dedicated but increasingly panicked manager. Kara knows the clinic's dark history, but she is also fighting to protect her own defensive secrets from being exposed by Meg's relentless digging. What follows is an exceptional, high-stakes war of logistical perspective and raw physical survival. The forced proximity reality of the locked room setup turns the luxury clinic into a volatile psychological pressure cooker. As patients and staff begin to turn on one another and the bodies start dropping, Meg must battle her own internal demons and creeping withdrawal symptoms to decode the clues Haley left behind. It is a locked-room mystery, psychological thriller, institutional noir, revenge suspense masterpiece that treats behavioral manipulation and isolated survival with elite precision. The tension here burns with a sharp, calculation-heavy intensity. We are talking about that high-frequency, trust absolutely no one energy, where a missing medication log, a subtle shift in a therapist's tone, or a shadow moving down a dark, unlit hallway carries massive structural weight. The sharp, tactical contrast between Meg's gritty, street-smart survival skills and the fragile, coddled egos of the wealthy elite is top tier. Quinn writes with an exceptionally fresh, vivid, and beautifully blunt voice, perfectly capturing the biting chill of a mountain blizzard, the clinical, sterile smell of the detox wing, and the distinct, subtle scent of old wood, burning pine, and pure, unadulterated panic. What truly elevates this milestone thriller into elite territory is the author's unmatched ability to explore the complex, painful anatomy of sisterhood alongside a relentless criminal investigation. Meg and Haley's shared childhood trauma isn't just a convenient backstory. It is the emotional engine that drives the entire plot, making Meg's desperate hunt for absolute justice feel profoundly authentic and deeply gripping. The pacing moves with calculated momentum, tracking intense interrogations and breathtaking physical confrontations before ratcheting up to an absolute jaw-dropping final twist that will leave your pulse running hot. The Clinic is the definitive pro-level upgrade your psychological suspense and locked-room mystery library demands right now. It is elegant, immensely fast-paced, and utterly unputdownable. It proves that behind the pristine, peaceful facades of luxury wellness retreats, the most dangerous monsters aren't the addictions you are trying to cure, but the people keeping you captive. So, secure your personal reading sanctuary, check your survival gear, open your Kindle, and prepare to check in.